So in 1964, Canada's first gay-positive organization, the Association for Social Knowledge, or ASK, was founded in Vancouver, BC. Canada's first, so like that's really cool. BC. Also in 1964, ASK published the first gay-positive newsletters, namely the ASK newsletter here in Vancouver, and a publication in Toronto, Ontario called Gay. The publication in Toronto was the first publication that had the word gay in and as its title, which is very cool. And yeah, so on the slide here is an image of an Ask newsletter dated September 1964, labeled Volume 1, Number 6. And it has a bunch of like either they're like honeycombs or like lenses divided, and it has like images of people dancing, it looks like. On New Year's Eve in 1966, the Ask Community Center opened at 1929 Kingsway, with a mission statement to quote, and this is an outdated term for queerness, but this is a quote from the actual mission statement, so I'll keep to it. With a mission statement to quote, serve the homosexual community. It was again the first center of its kind in Canada. I imagine it would have felt liberating to finally have an organization, a newsletter, and a community center where you could see yourself, be safe and supported, and could connect with others who are like you. It's so necessary to have those physical and non-physical spaces. My friend and I were talking about that this weekend, about the place where I work, the Birdhouse, being a sort of church, a communal place where people can gather, and not that denominational, religious church being something that a lot of queer people suffered under, because that's a very, cisgendered, patriarchal, misogynist, harmful environment for a lot of people. But the Birdhouse being a sort of church that people could gather, see people that they're familiar with, see, I mentioned the gospel and the sermons being the drag performances, the go-go dancers, the DJs, that other people see this as a party space, and that is okay to come there and get fucked up and meet people and have fun. Yeah, to be able to talk about this past weekend, that other people share those feelings, was really special and affirming and beautiful. And maybe people came out of this, this Ask building feeling some sort of way too, and taking, a piece of this organization, be it a newsletter where they could read stories about people that are like them, and a business card that it just says you are not alone. And I'll put a picture of it right here. It's hand drawn, I think, too. It says you are not alone. And to have that walking around in an anti-queer, anti-trans, just toxic, harmful space where it doesn't feel okay to be who you are, when you feel unsafe about, expressing yourself in the way that you are, you still could have that card, and you could look at it, and you could do, what I'm doing, and writing, it's all going to be okay, it's all going to be okay, repeating that in your mind until you remember it by rote memory. And the default is that you feel like you're not alone. I'm trying to do that now. And 60 years ago, fuck, that must have made such a difference, and I'm so thankful that organization existed. And if you want to hear my hour-long, video where I really go through some big emotions when it comes to needing this community, please feel free to watch it. And if you can't watch an hour because that's too long, that's okay too. Thank you for watching what you are watching here. This is, my first video back after a long hiatus, and I've been trying to catch the momentum of like a good day, and just realizing there's, maybe not going to be a good day in a while, and that's okay, because I can hold out until there is one. And yeah, again, I'll keep reading my script. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm disabled, and I have fibromyalgia, which means that I have something called brain fog, which is difficulties with attention, concentration, memory, all of those things. So please don't get mad at me when I forget your names, because you keep getting mad at me, and it's really not necessary. I'm not trying. I'm really, 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 really trying. So yeah, this is just me reading the script that I wrote when I wrote this workshop. Okay, sorry, I'll try and read through it without going off on a different tangent, but if I go on a different tangent, hashtag ADHD. Like I've said, I don't want people to understand my intersectionality. I want to be celebrated. I faced adversities my whole life. Many of them, because of the identities I was born with, have no control of, used to be ashamed of, and I'm now learning that this shame never belonged to me. It was a product of white fragility and oppressive forces that favor the white majority and make it feel like all the oppression, abuse, pain, control, microaggressions, etc. that weigh heavily on my soul are somehow my fault, that means something is wrong with me. It is nourishing when I see evidence that counteracts this history. BIPOC, queer, and trans joy. This history was not easy to find, and that often feels intentional. White culture is always the dominant force. When we access history that is intersectional, when it brings us joy and makes us feel safe, when we talk about this with others, when we are curious, when you are curious and want to learn more, we move against that force and tell intersectional people, tell people who are under oppressive forces and have been since the day that they were born, that they matter, that their history is important because it is. So in the last couple of minutes of this video, I just wanted to let you all know, in connection with the Ask Network, I was able to find a book online, and I'll put a link to it here and in the show notes. It is called A Brief History of Gay, Canada's First Gay Tabloid, 1964 to 1966. And it was written by Donald W. MacLeod. I know that I've heard that name before, but I can't recall where. And on the cover of this book, it has a white man with his shirt off. You can see a bunch of muscles, and a line that states, "For those who think gay," which, yeah, that's definitely me. The back of the book jacket reads, it kind of gives a description of what the book is about. So the Gay magazine was the first gay tabloid publication in Canada. Well, it was one of the first anyways. The Ask Network, the Ask newsletter was brought out at the same time. In most ways, it was a failure. An enterprise launched on a whim. Gay never established a clear self-identity and never found an audience large enough to sustain it. Although it was intended to be a light general interest publication for a perceived quote-unquote mainstream gay population, many of its issues were filled with lightweight cartoons and clip art used as filler. The content was mostly non-political. Gay never exhibited a particular sense of style and was redesigned 3 times in 15 issues before the publisher settled on an undistinguished physique format. And yet, against all odds, Gay did make a huge, though unsuccessful, effort to become a force in the North American marketplace. This is perhaps its most remarkable feat. It is incredible that in 1965, 4 years before Stonewall, a Toronto-based gay publication would be shipping 20,000 copies per issue to the United States for newsstand distribution. At the time, this equaled the monthly combined circulation of 9 of America's leading lesbian and gay publications. Looked at another way, no Toronto-based gay publication reached this sustained level of print production again until Extra. I have a video on Pink Triangle Press if you want to go and watch that. And Extra magazine is the current endeavor of Pink Triangle Press. Until Extra began circulating 20,000 copies per issue in 1990, most of which were given away. And here, there's a bunch of covers of the magazine Gay. So sorry that I'm not able to do an image description of all of these. But I'll also, I'll include, like I said, the PDF link to go and check out this publication. It looks like it was scanned in at a Toronto library location. Thank you for watching this content. I'm sorry I've been away for a while, but it's been really nice to come back in a slow way. and a softer way that I usually do things. I hope everyone's doing well. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another, including yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.